All right. So, okay. Okay. So I'm going to start with the the clinical internship handbook, which gives a very nice overview of the program. I had all that up on the other computer, but obviously that crashed, and so we're good to go here. All right, so we'll look at this one. I'm recording now. We've got sound. We're good to go. All right, so when this opens up, hopefully everybody can see it on their screen. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay. So as I said, 5 semester and 3 semester. The 5 semester people will have 5 classes, MELS 601 through 605. The 3 semester people will have classes MELS 601, 603, and 605 concurrently. There are no spaces in between. Please remember that you're automatically enrolled for these classes. You don't, once you're in, you will go to the next class. There's no class selection. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the master students, 1, 3, and 5, MELS 601, 603, and 605 for the add-on licensure. Now, to be clear, the type of program that you've gotten into since August of 2010 in the state of North Carolina, there is no administrative exam in North Carolina for your license. At the end of your program, you will submit a licensure portfolio from TaskStream. Please don't try to log into TaskStream yet. Your account will not be entered into TaskStream until after drop add. That's pass-through money, and the university has to make sure you're going to stay with us before they will pay for you an account. They're quite expensive. But you will submit your demonstration portfolio, your TaskStream portfolio, in lieu of an exam in North Carolina. And then in South Carolina, you will do that same thing. You'll get your North Carolina license through that portfolio, submit it along with your praxis score in South Carolina to get your license. Let me say that again. There is no praxis in North Carolina. Once you submit your portfolio, you're through, you get your license. In South Carolina, you submit your North Carolina license you got once you submitted your portfolio and got your North Carolina license. You take that to South Carolina, take the exam, and then you get licensed in your license in both states. So that's how that works. Now, I had an email from a student recently that said, I thought we were just taking some classes. Well, you are going to take some classes, but there's a clinical internship component as well. So each semester that you're in the program, you're required to get 80 clinical internship hours at your school site. You must have a site supervisor. That was explained to you when you applied for the program. You had to have a person that agreed to work with you that would supervise your internship. And so to that end, those program requirements are in this handbook that I will send you along with the link from tonight's program. And I also have a list. You're to log your hours, and I also have a list of the expected activities that you would do during those 80 hours. And here they are. They're divided into 3 categories: leadership opportunities, supervision, and technical. You'll notice that the links vary, and that's because we expect most of what you do to be leadership opportunities, the least to be supervision, and the second most would be technical. So these are the things that you do during your 80 hours. You log those. Principal signs off at the end of the semester. We have a place in TaskStream for you to upload these for review from your clinical coach. All right. You will have to do evidence artifact work. That's a part of that TaskStream portfolio. You will have a coach assigned to your class that will help you. For example, if you're with Dr. Stedman or Dr. Crawford in the add-on licensure program, I will be your coach on Thursday nights. Dr. Stedman coaches Dr. Crawford's. I coach Dr. Stedman's. We also have Dr. John Shepard and Dr. Robin Hamilton, two sitting principals. They will also be with us at times those nights, and they offer their expertise. Please remember that this is a clinical experience program. All of us that are teaching in the program either have been or are principals, some of us superintendents. We've either been a principal or supervised principals, and we have two sitting principals that consult with us who will be working with us this semester, and they will be offering things along the way. Dr. Crawford is a sitting principal in High Point. Dr. Stedman and I are both retired principals, long time in the state. And so this is a clinical experience program. We have absolutely wonderful practitioners still in the business that will be consulting with us in your classes. For those of you in the regular program, you have Dr. Church and Dr. Bullis, who have both been principals. They're central office people now, assistant superintendents, associate superintendents, and they will be working with you. Let me catch a question right quick. Oh, there's Dr. Crawford. He's here. I know Dr. Stedman's here. Dr. Talent's here. A lot of our folks, I didn't invite everybody. A student asked me, did we meet at 6 or 7? And I said, tonight, when we do town halls like this, we meet at 6 because some of us have class at 7 tonight. So all the faculty's not online tonight because they're preparing for their class. Just like me, I've got class at 7 tonight. So classes will be at 7, town halls and these kinds of things. We won't have a lot of these. These will be at 6. Your coaching sessions on the off nights, those are at 7 as well. Please remember that these sessions are optional, that we record them and you can watch them during the week. We send you to them, the link via email, and we also post them in the shells. We understand that students do better if they come on live, but life gets in the way. But we do record all sessions and post them. Now, we'll have 2 sessions a week for 2 or 3 weeks until we kind of get everything covered, like task stream and how to use Zoom and peer reviewing and all those kinds of things and what the evidence artifacts are. There's 6 of those that make up the bulk of your task stream portfolio. And we'll cover those later this week when we get to the coaching session. Your instructors will cover class content on Tuesday night, and then on Thursday night, we'll come back online and we'll cover the evidence artifacts. So this is very important that you understand that this is a clinical experience program. You're going to be doing a lot of things. It's not just read a chapter, write a paper, or post in discussion board a few thoughts that you had on an article or something. That certainly there's some components of that, not a lot, but this is more a going and doing kind of thing because it is a clinical experience. You're supposed to be getting training similar to what you get as a student teacher. You're basically an administrative intern, and you have somebody that works with you, and the expectation is 80 hours per month. If you look in your class shells, we have a course syllabus. It has MELS 601 syllabus, spring 19. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go to date modify. Let's see if I've got a copy here in my files, or if I'm going to have to open up. How often does the 80 hours each semester? So if you're in the 5-semester program, you'd have 5 of those. If you're in the 3-semester, you would have 3. Let's see. Home looking glass. Let me go to Blackboard and pull up a shell right quick. And I'm going to basically walk you through a shell quickly if it'll appear. There it comes. Okay, this is Blackboard. It'll have my courses. Yours will say 601 in whatever section you're in. I'll select Dr. Stedman's section because it's an add-on section. And if you look under the welcome, meet your instruction, the syllabus. Once you look in the syllabus, it has everything you need to know about this course. It also has the books. We'll take it a second to open. It's always best to have these things open before you go into Zoom, but since we're so there are your 3 books: Current Issues and Trends, Case Studies, and The Principalship. These are the 3 books that both, if you're in 601 regular or add-on, these are the same books that you will use this semester. 5 hours a week. Would I recommend setting aside 5 hours a week, or get just available for, or get just as much when available? The intern is set up to average 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a month. Every how you can do that is whatever is best. The best thing to do is to take the manual, because we have a companion manual that says Site Supervisor Handbook. It looks just like that. It also has the list of activities. Your best bet is to take that manual and make sure that your site supervisor has their copy, and I'll resend those to you. Where you've got your copy and their copy, and you sit down with them and you kind of plan out when you could do some of those things. Some of you are still classroom based. Some of those activities take place during the day, and you may have to have class coverage or during your planning period. The best thing is to set forward a plan with your site supervisor at your building, your assistant principal or principal, as to how you're going to get those hours and the activities that you're going to do. Some of the hours duplicate your job. Obviously they do, and that's fine. The important thing is not counting the hours, but getting the experience. So going to an IEP meeting or intervention team or those kinds of things. Now, if that's your regular job and you do 20 hours of them a week, don't put all 20 hours. We expect there to be a variety of activities. You know, each period, each semester, one IEP meeting is enough on your log. Do some other things. Don't let that, just like bus duty. I had a student down below Whiteville in Williams Township. His 400 hours consisted of 385 hours of bus duty. Don't do that. It's hard to recommend somebody like that for a license. And the irony is his principal didn't know if he wanted to recommend him either, because all he'd done is bus duty when he was the one that had assigned him to do the bus duty. He thought he was a wonderful guy. He did all this bus duty for us. He just saved. He was a savior. He was a lifesaver. Well, would you recommend him for a license? Well, I'm not sure. He didn't do anything but bus duty. So that's why I said you need to negotiate with your site supervisor up front. I need to be able to do all these different kinds of things. I figure once you do bus duty a time or two, you're probably pretty proficient at that. You need to move on in terms of your hours. Now, if you do bus duty every day, that's fine, but don't put it on your log for every day. I'm not going to let you count 80 hours of bus duty every semester. I want to see a diversity of activities, and most of them being leadership things. And your clinical coach is going to check it. Where can you find the clinical manual? It will be in your classroom shell, and I will email it to you as well. So once you're in your class shell, Blackboard shell, if you look over here on the side, MELS handbooks, there is the Site Mentor Handbook. That's it right there. And the Clinical Internship Handbook. They're right there under Handbooks and Resources in your class shell. They're there already. Even though we don't look like it, we're pretty planned and prepared. I had a technology issue tonight, which happens from time to time. But other than that, everything that you need is going to be in this class shell. And that's why I'm going to quickly go through that now. I'm going to catch a couple more questions here. You can count anything that happened since August. That's correct. Are we going to add on? Does automatically mean we will have 3 sessions? If we're doing the add-on, does that automatically mean we will have the 3 sessions? I don't understand that question. We'll have 3 semesters. It'll be spring, summer, fall concurrently. And you'll be registered for each one of those if you pass if you pass your class in your internship. Being part of a committee can help that. Can that help? Yes. You're expected to be on committees. You're expected to take leadership roles. Let's see. You were mentioning 3 semester. Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, the 3 semester people is 3 concurrent. Can our duties be part of this as well? Yes, as long as it's on the list. But again, if you do IEP meetings every week because you're an EC person, don't put 20 hours a week on here of IEP meetings. If you'll notice, we'll go back to the list. I'll pull the handbook up again. And we look at the activities. Read the verbiage. I'm clearing those. You're not required to be at live sessions if you don't desire. Mom of the toddler's bedtime is earlier. Could I choose to watch every session later tonight? Absolutely, you can. You do not have to be live ever. You can, as long as you watch your videos every week, you're fine. Now, when we come on every week, you'll be able to talk. You will be unmuted. This is a town hall version of Zoom so that people can't interrupt me. But every week when we come on, we can talk and discuss as a class. You don't just have to type in questions. That's one of the advantages of attending. But that if you don't want to come, you don't have to come. Interviewing a prospective teacher. Well, of course, it's on the list. Again, let's look at the list. You can count anything that's on this list. Address a small group of adults. Participate in a teacher applicant interview session. There you go. It's on the list. That's the thing I was just asked. Conduct a parent group meeting. A parent group meeting. If you do that as your job, you do it every week, you only count it one time. A meeting. We want you to get to all of these. Participate in one IEP. This is on a semester. We don't want you just putting all hours of bus duty or IEPs. It says attend 1. That's why I had to go back and put that, make sure. 1. If it's on this list, you can count it. No matter what, if it's your job responsibility or if it's on this list, you can count it. This is what the state identifies as clinical experiences. If it's on this list, you can count it. And you should strive to do this entire list. You should strive. Let me say that again. You should strive to do the list. Thank you. School ends in June. We'll be expected to have 80. Yes, you will be expected to have 80 hours every semester you're in the program. For those of you who are going to be in the summertime, I would just commit to do 2 weeks from 9 to 5 and get my 80 hours in 2 weeks right after school's out. That's what I would do, but it's up to you. When's class? Dr. Stedman, the folks that work with Dr. Stedman and Dr. Crawford now, we're at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. It will be in your class shell. It will be in your class shell under the course introduction when your class meets. Again, go back and look at your shell. Under course overview, this is Dr. Stedman's, and he introduces himself, and he welcome, meet your instructor, and he says that we'll meet on Tuesdays at 7. Then we'll meet some Wednesdays. Now, if you don't see that, look at the weekly schedule. Go to your weekly class schedule. We have that printed out for you as well. And it tells you when the weekly sessions are going to be. Look at your weekly schedule. And it tells you the weekly Zoom session 1 is going to be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And when the second one that week is going to be Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's all, and everything that you have to do, your assignments, what you're to read, everything is on your weekly schedule. He's even got it color coded for you. So make sure you look at your weekly schedule. You will find this in every one of your class, in every one of your class shells, you will find a weekly schedule that tells you everything. It says, just like tonight, we're doing this at 6. It says they're doing class tomorrow night at 7. Everything you need to know will be in your weekly schedule. And then, even to make it even simpler, when you click on week 1, guess what? It's got just what we're doing this week in here. So for those of you who learn part to whole, here you go. For those of you who learn whole to part, there you go for that one. The whole thing's there. Every week, every day, every session, everything in one document. Or if that overwhelms you, as it would me, I like it where I can just click on, if that's week 9, what am I going to do this week? I simply click on week 9 and there it is. We have it all for you there. And we're going to cover all these things. Has the weekly schedule been updated? Yes, it has. If you've got one from 2018, something's wrong with Blackboard. You should have the 19 schedule. 18 as well. From what, those of you who have an 18 schedule, what class section, who's your instructor? You need to chat me here who your instructor is. Lamb 0. No, I'm not teaching 601. It would be church. Oh, somebody said make sure you're using new Blackboard from Web Connect. That's true. Okay, church and Bullis, I'll go in and make sure that theirs is up to date. It should be. Well, I can look. No, church has his up. Make sure you went into new Blackboard and not old Blackboard. I am using new Blackboard. Let me look and see. Let me look and see theirs. So they've got a 0. We'll look at, see if I can see his 0 section. Aha. There's his 0 section. Okay, weekly class schedule. It says spring 19. Spring 19. He's doing his Wednesday at 7:30, Monday at 7:30. He's doing his at 7:30. He's doing that one at 8. Now, the add-on people, hours are consistent Tuesday nights at 7. The regular people, because y'all's program is spread out more, he does shorter sessions with you and doesn't start until 7:30. Looks like sometimes at 8. We'll go a little bit longer on the add-on sessions because we've got to cover the same amount of material in 3 semesters versus 5. So we come on for a full hour. So we start at 7. He doesn't start you till 7:30. All right. Still aligned with the fall. Oh, the individual leagues are aligned with the fall. Now I don't know. He'll explain that to you. I don't know. I see the date, the proper dates on this one. I'm guessing he will work that out with you. So let's don't get too excited about that part. He'll work that out with you at your first class meeting. Okay. I know that Dr. Stedman's are correct because that's our group. But again, this is his syllabus. The main difference in the add-on and the regular is in the add-on, you're going to be responsible for 2 evidence artifacts each semester. This semester, it'll be the app cell and the app tel. You'll be responsible for 1. When you're in the regular program, you only have to do the app cell this semester. So the difference is regular master students will do the app cell, one of the first of the 6 evidence artifacts. The add-on students will do the app cell and the app tel. All right, let me switch back to the add-on shell. I'll switch back to Dr. Crawford's shell. There's his. Okay. We haven't populated that. That shell will populate in later. We'll populate that one. Let's see. Yeah. I see why we have so many questions. These shells aren't showing populated right now. I'll make sure they populate tonight. That's because students were only registered today. All right, so let me go back to Dr. Stedman's. All right. All right. Dr. Stedman's got his syllabus. He's got his points. He's got his first steps to do your verification. So you need to do your verification activity. You need to go ahead and do that and be prepared for class tomorrow night. He's got all of his Zoom teams here, all these things. This will be in Dr. Crawford's shell in the morning, I'm hoping. That shell only formed today because of enrollment. We'll make sure that that shell is up and running for you before class tomorrow night. I'll get that done later this evening after my class. But you should take time and go through all these. For those of you who don't have these in your shell yet, I'll get them there for you. You can look at those. But just know that if you're an add-on, you're going to have class tomorrow night at 7. If you choose not to join, you can watch the video. It'll be posted by about 9:30. It takes an hour to do class, takes between half an hour and a half to get it processed, uploaded to YouTube, and get you the link. But you'll have the link by 9:30 tomorrow night if you just want to watch the link. There's a lot of information here. A lot more than I could cover in a period of time. I wanted to only do about 45 minutes tonight. I lost 20 with technology issues. So I'm going to start the wrap up here. Again, look at your syllabus, look at your weekly schedule, what the expectation, buy your textbooks. Know that we're going to be online tomorrow night at 7, and we're going to go through each one of these menu items in terms of expectation. When I send you the link out again tonight, even though it's already in your shell, I'll send you the clinical handbook along with the site mentor handbook, and you need to get started with your principal this week about, let's sit down and look and see when I can get my 80 hours, because you're also going to need to talk to your principal this week about forming a PLC to kick off your app cell. You're going to need permission from your principal to do that. So you need to go ahead and get an email out or get on their agenda and to talk with them this week about planning your clinical experiences and starting your app cell by forming a new PLC. So that's where we start this course. Again, I apologize. My computer was down over the holidays and they just put a new operating system. Obviously, it's not compatible with Zoom, and so I'm going to have to figure out how to get that to work. It worked on my Zoom account fine. It's not compatible with the Town Hall version of Zoom, but I'll get that fixed. So for those of you who are with Dr. Stedman, Dr. Crawford, Dr. Shepard, and Dr. Hamilton and I will be online again tomorrow night at 7. I believe I saw that Dr. Church is going to be on later this week at 7. I believe he said 7:30 on 7:30 on Wednesday was his first session, I believe. But check your shell to double check me in terms of the weekly schedule when he's coming on. And if you have issues with dates, you need to hammer that out with him. Let me do the chat before I close. Finish the program. The textbook the same. Yeah, the textbooks are the same from 18. Textbooks are only sold at the university bookstore. You can find them, most time you can find them on Amazon. Dr. Crawford's shells are up to date. They're just not coming through tonight for some reason. But we'll make sure that they come through before tomorrow. Thank you, PLC. We will learn more about, yes, you will learn more about PLCs tomorrow. We'll do a mini lesson on PLCs, and we'll, trust me, everything is, if you want to know what you need to do with the PLC, simply click on App Cell, Task and Prompts, and it tells you what you got to do. If you click on that, everything that you have to do, we've already got it laid out for you. Somebody bought theirs on Amazon, 2-day shipping. One was on bn.com and they gave the educator discount. Yeah. So if you want to know about what to do with the PLC, click on Task and Prompts, and it will tell you how you're going to start this thing. And I've got it color coded for you as well. So in prompt 1, the candidate with approval of school leadership, that's why you need to get to talk to them, will research the tenets and function of professional learning community while assuming a leadership role in developing and organizing a PLC. You're going to do it to look at your test scores, your standardized test scores, look for gaps. find your most pressing need and put a learning program in place. This is what's known in North and South Carolina as the closing the gap. This is required in all public schools. We're teaching you how to do it to start with. Everything you do is what principals do. We don't do anything that are just fun exercises. The whole evidence artifact portfolio and task stream teaches you how to build a school improvement plan, which is the #1 legal requirement of a school principal in public school, is to build a school improvement plan. That's your #1 legal requirement. That's what the evidence artifact portfolio is going to teach you to do at Gardner-Webb. We're going to teach you through the 6 evidences how to build a school improvement plan. The APSEL is your learning program. The APTEL is your staff development program. The OMA is your master schedule and your management functions. The SKIP is your parent and community involvement program. The CAP is culture and discipline, teacher working condition survey, and you put it all together. And the 6th one, called the SIOP, which is an action plan of your school improvement plan. So we're going to teach you the school improvement plan process. And we're going to teach you evidence artifacts because that's the way you're evaluated now. You have to write written evidence narratives and then have artifact proofs of what you did when you're evaluated by your superintendent. So everything we do mirrors what you really do as an assistant principal or a principal. We teach you evidence artifacts. That's your evaluation system. We teach you the evidences. Those become your school improvement plan. So everything we do, this is a clinical program. We're training you to be able to step into a school and work. There's some theory, but this is not a theoretical program. This is a clinical program. And so we're interested that you can do those things. We'll teach you to write in a technical way using APA format so that when you write your evidence for your superintendent, he'll be impressed or she'll be impressed. So if you want to know, if you want to get ahead, go to your shell. Again, for those of Dr. Crawford, I'll make sure to activate his shells tonight, make them available to you, and I think we'll be good. All right, my time is up. I've got to move on to my class now. Thank you. I hope everybody's principal is on board. Please remember you'll be getting a notice from a clinical coach, one, who will come to your school and visit with you and answer. If this isn't enough, we're going to send somebody out to your school to talk to your principal and thank them for hosting you. If they have any questions, any problems, that person lives close to you in your area. They work with Gardner-Webb, and they'll come and see you. I've got a few visits myself. All of us full-timers will visit. All the folks working in the program will be out, but we'll be out and hopefully before, definitely before Valentine's Day, you'll have seen one of us at your campus thanking you and spending time with you to answer any questions that you might have that you'd like to share with us personally. We'll be out to do that with you. Dr. Pickard's already come to see you. I certainly appreciate that. He's the nicest man ever. That's who I want to be when I grow up, Dr. Pickard. So again, thank all of you for joining me tonight. I'll send you this video. We'll make sure Dr. Crawford's shell is working. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the program at Gardner-Webb. We will have a great time.